All right, buckle up. Buckle up. This is going to be crazy. We're actually going to watch some of this news conference that just happened today. And I'm telling you, it's bad, folks. It's real bad. Zelensky was just humiliated live in America. And I've never seen this before. I've never seen this tone before. Usually things are nice with people. And I was like, wow, it feels like Donald Trump and JD Vance are two-timing on Zelensky. Like it's like a tag team match. But don't believe me. Watch this for yourself. Like, I don't know what to make of this. I'm going to share my comments. But I think if you embarrass someone like Zelensky, there's going to be retribution. I feel it. I feel something is going to happen because of this. You don't embarrass someone like this in another country and lambaste him, in like he's going to go home back to Ukraine. What do you think they're going to say to him when he gets home with his production company that is part of the parliament? That's his political party, is his video production company. And I've been saying it for 3 years that Ukraine is ranked number 1, arguably number 2, with drones and artificial intelligence. And you just embarrassed him in America, and he wants to be the top of the food chain, and they just insulted him and said, you're basically nothing. But don't take my word for it. You watch this. We're going to watch it right now together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts. So here it is.
Now from the White House, where President Trump has met with Ukraine's President Zelensky. Let's listen in.
With both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with...
So this is kind of how it started, laughing. And basically, I don't know if Trump was hinting at Zelensky saying, I hate this guy. How can you meet with him? And talks bad about Putin. And then Trump is going to go to Putin and talk to him. Trump basically said, I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to get in front of Putin, say bad things behind his back, and then go in front of him and then say something else. I'm not like that. This is not how we're going to negotiate. And then some of the press started laughing. Let's continue here.
With the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that.
So right there, boom, just accuses Zelensky right out of the gate that this guy, I can't make a deal in front of this guy, with this guy. I can't do it. Why? Because Zelensky has so much hatred for Putin that he's going to jeopardize the deal. That's why I can't have him with me. I need to negotiate aside from this because he hates Putin and it's not good. This is the tone. Look at the body language that Zelensky looks like a deer in headlights here. And I think on the inside, he is fuming. He is absolutely fuming. I get it. I get it. I'm just doing the play-by-play here. I get the idea, have humility, but they kind of started in on Zelensky by saying, you hate this guy and it's not going to work. They kind of poked him a bit. And Zelensky's not one to back down from a fight. I'm just saying, it's funny that I'm sticking up for this guy, but I think he was two-time. And you're going to see it. It's weird to have Zelensky come. I think maybe Zelensky had other expectations, but they lambasted him in front of America. I've never seen this before, this bad.
That kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done.
So right there, he's posturing, he's setting himself up to say that, look, I'm on the side of the world. You are not Zelensky. Zelensky just finished having a meeting in Munich saying, we don't need America. They're pulling out of NATO. And all you have left is me to protect you. Why? Because I've been stopping Russia myself. This is what Zelensky has said on record. And now America, I think, invited him to tell him to his face that Zelensky, you are nothing. You are zero. You are less than nothing. You have nothing. You are nothing. To me, this is the greatest humiliation I've ever experienced. I've never seen anything like this before. And I'm not a fan of Zelensky, but I'm looking at this like, wow, this is actually a big pee-pee slap. Like they're putting Zelensky in his place. Just look at the reaction. Now Trump is saying, I am on the side of the world, almost inferring that you are not on the side of the world. And Zelensky's been positioning himself for the last 3 years as the underdog with the world. So let's continue.
You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I would respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. the path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy.
Now, it's interesting that J.D. Vance jumped in on this. It's weird having a prime minister that really his job is to wait until the president gets assassinated. Let's just be fair here. That's the role of the VP. But he's here. I don't think he was cutting off Trump. Maybe Trump gave him a nod to tag him in and say, your turn. And he said, look, 4 years, you've played the guy that was banging his chest saying that if you attack Ukraine, we're going to be all over you. And then Russia attacked Ukraine and they did nothing. So Zelensky, J.D. Vance's point seems to be that we tried strong arming. That doesn't work. We need diplomacy now. We need to be able to come to the table to talk. And what Trump said just before is, look, this guy hates Putin. It's clear. It's evident. Just look at him. He hates him. So now it's JD's turn to blast Zelensky.
We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now here, and don't mistake smiling for being friendly. I think in America, I think in Canada, when we smile, it's because we are friendly and we're like, oh, sorry, you go first, all this kind of stuff. But don't mistake what Zelensky's doing. This is a forced smile, but inside, if he was with his own people, his own personnel, he would be fuming. But he's trying to be politically correct, and you're going to see the true Zelensky come out. You're going to see the lion, the voice of the lion come out of him. He's not going to be able to hide it anymore. And I think it's because he is being shown in front of hundreds, if not billions of people, because this is going to go all over the news. I'm telling you, this is going to spread like gangrene all over the news that Zelensky has been shamed, has been slapped. Daddy knows best. You're going to see this all. So now here's Zelensky asking the question, and just watch the shouting match that ensues, and I'm shocked, with J.D. Vance and Zelensky. Here we go.
So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But
now, this is kind of not a slight to President Trump, because he's realizing that, hey, President Trump is now the president. God bless you. But it's almost like a it's like a slang, or it's like a, not a cutting remark. How do you describe this? When someone says, you're in the middle of a heated conversation and you're like, please, God bless you. God bless you. I appreciate that you speak. God bless you. But you're an idiot. That's almost how this is. So don't mistake any of these catchphrases like God bless you. We appreciate what you guys have done for us. These are just little tiny things so that he can get his shots across the bow. And look at the posturing there. Trump is got his eyes down, like, I don't want to listen to this guy anymore. JD is leaning forward and he's ready to pounce. He's got his hands clenched and he's ready to pounce.
during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014.
So now Trump's like 2015, as in he's starting to think, I'm not even a part of this. Why are you bringing up Obama? But Zelensky corrected him. He said 2014. And then I think this is where JD is going to jump in.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
So now he's saying basically, you have just said that strong arming didn't work, but now you're saying diplomacy is going to work? What do you mean? It's almost like, are you trying to insult me, a Ukrainian, about your so-called American diplomacy? JD, what are you talking about? You're crazy. You're crazy. So here comes JD, and he comes in swinging.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President.
And he pointed at him too, the destruction of your company. And now Zelensky's got his arms crossed. Look at that, arms folded. Trump is looking down, almost like he's the mediator between these two. And JD is going to unleash, and they're going to go at it. And then Trump's going to jump in because maybe he feels like JD blasted him pretty good, but I can blast him twice as hard. So watch this.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? That you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I have actually.
He's like, now Zelensky's like, have you ever been to Ukraine? And this is usually an excuse sometimes. Like if you don't experience the bombs that we've had dropped on our houses, then you can't speak. Have you ever been to Ukraine? So then JD says, no, but I watched videos, and then watch Zelensky shake his head, almost like we all know that we can manipulate the media into whatever direction we want. And here you are, the vice president of the United States, and you're saying that you're watching media to get your news, to get your influence. And Zelensky has a political party that is his production company. So he knows how to manipulate stuff. And I'm sure the Americans know how to manipulate stuff in the media. So he's calling him out on this, saying, oh, okay, you've never been there. You've never been there. You should come one day. Come one day.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems?
It's almost like he cussed at him under his breath. Let's back this up a bit. He's so disgusted right now at JD Vance. You could just see it.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President.
Now, here we go. He just hit him below the waist. Propaganda tour, meaning you bring in the press and you walk them through certain areas of Ukraine, and then you build this up like it's bigger than it is. So he just dropped the gloves right there in front of Zelensky, saying all this is a propaganda war. Let me back up again.
Front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? That you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you. But you have nice ocean, and don't.
Here is where Trump is going to jump in. I'm going to back it up, give it a good run here. I got to back it up a couple seconds, because what Trump has been saying for the past, ever since he got into the administration for this year, he's been saying, we have an ocean. So Europe has more things to worry about with Russia and Ukraine going on than we do. They have more to lose than us. But here's Zelensky's going to introduce something to Trump that absolutely ticks him off. He's going to say, don't think that that ocean can save you because you're going to experience trouble. Almost like an underhanded threat. I don't know how. I'm not saying that Zelensky is going to threaten the U.S. with drones. I'm not going to say that. Off the record, possibly. On the record, no, I would never say such a thing. Off the record, that could be in play. This is how I protect myself. I switch between off the record and on the record. But here's where Zelensky introduces something to Trump, saying, don't think that you're safe right now with that ocean. As in inferring, my drones can reach you. Don't you know? So watch this. And Trump loses his marbles.
Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you. But you have nice ocean. And don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position to
this question.
dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a
Mr.
good
Brown.
position.
Have you ever seen anything like this before? Have you ever seen, like, my goodness, this is, hey, I get it, but you know what's going to happen if I don't pause this video every once in a while? It's going to get taken down. This is how it works when you play a video from Ukraine or from CNN. If you let it go 100%, it's going to get taken down. I'm going to get a copyright strike. So what I have to do is I have to break it up into commentary for you. But I'm going to put the link up and I rewind it and then I keep my mouth shut so that you can get a good idea of what's going to happen. So I'm giving you a little bit of the play-by-play. So watch it on your own time as well. And this is important to talk about this because sometimes his accent might be too strong for you or whatever. You might not know what's going on. So I'm just breaking it down. I'm going to rewind it here because this is where it gets hot now.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Let me back it up a bit more. Let me give it a run here.
Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you. But you have nice ocean, and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't know
God
that.
bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly what
Remember
you're
this.
doing.
Not
You're in
dictate.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not in a
Mr.
good
Brown.
position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
I'm not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about-
gambling with
what do you
World
think
War
about-
III. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
you.
Far more than a lot of people said
Very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United
This is hard to watch, folks. I'm telling you. I am feeling embarrassed right now for Zelensky because right or wrong, you ever see something where you have a street fight that's about to happen and two guys are at each other and they're just talking. They're just yelling at each other back and forth. And then they start raising their voice, and there gets to a point when they're raising their voice that you're like, oh man, these guys are going to throw down. And then they start punching each other. And then that sick flesh sound, when a person punches another person in the face and you get that pit in your stomach. If you've ever seen a real fight, if you've seen your dad get in a fight or someone that you really care about in a fight and you see them get beat, there's a little piece inside you that feels sick. This is what I'm feeling right now for Zelensky because he's being two-time. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. This is a setup. They're here to teach him a lesson, and he has no backup. Zelensky doesn't have anybody with him. I promise you, Zelensky's never going to put himself in a position like this again because he just got yelled at by Trump. So, let's see here. Let's just back up here a bit. Back it up again.
Feel it in the future. God
You don't-
bless.
you don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless. You will
Don't-
not
you
have
gotta-
a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember
what
this.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not in a
Mr.
good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was-
have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you think
You're
about-
gambling with
what do you
World
think
War
about-
III. And
Me?
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
you.
Far more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
What
of
are you speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
Oh, man. See, this is what got Zelensky in trouble at Munich when he said, I single-handedly have been the one that has actually stopped Mother Russia from coming in. I did it. And then he says, by the way, thank you for your money. It's weird to say that. It's weird to say it's because of me that NATO needs me. Because if the U.S. pulls out, Russia is going to come after Europe. And who's standing in the way? It's me, Ukraine. So now Zelensky's trying that same hand on Trump saying, look, I've been defending Ukraine by myself, ignoring the billions of dollars that are going to Ukraine, not only from the United States of America, but also from us in Canada. We actually have an armory that I shared on another video that we're actually building armored vehicles for Zelensky. Did I get a thank you? No, I didn't. Did Canada get a thank you? No, it was done in secret. In Brampton, Ontario, we have an armory. 1,600 vehicles have been shipped to Ukraine, plus rockets, bullets, all kinds of stuff. And we hired 250 engineers from Ukraine. Did we get a thank you for that? No. More are coming. More Ukrainians, more engineers are coming to Canada to build weapons of mass destruction so that they could use on the front lines. United States of America deployed millions of mines, sent them to Ukraine. These mines are weird. They're not your normal mine. They have timers on them. Some of them may go off, some of them may not go off, and some child is going to land in that minefield someday in the future. And so now Zelensky just said, hey, we've been holding our own. Trump said, you guys, if it wasn't for us, there would be nothing left of Ukraine. Zelensky said, no, not true. It's because of me. So here we go. Let me just back it up a little bit here.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over.
Did you see him shove Zelensky? Look at this. He's now putting his hands on him. Watch this. I could be wrong. Let's just have a look. Watch the shoulder.
That $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and
voted
you men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited-
military
Boom.
equipment,
Wow, he pushed him back. I've never seen President Trump do this before. He actually pushed the guy back. If this was on a schoolyard, they would be fighting already.
stupid president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your president.
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course,
It's
yes.
going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there,
thank you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong.
I think the deal for minerals is going to be off the table after this conversation. That's what this is about. They were to meet to talk about the minerals that Ukraine has that the United States of America needs right now. And I think that deal's off the books. I think Trump and JD are going to say, no deal. We don't want your minerals, and we're not giving you any more aid. The aid stops today. It could happen that fast.
We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to.
They set him up. They set him up. That's why they're recording. They're asking him the questions, and then they're basically saying, look, Americans, this is where your money's going, to a dictator. He called him a dictator in this press conference already. And JD said, you're using propaganda. They're not happy about where the American money is going. And JD said it already a few times. You don't appear thankful. It's one thing to say thank you and then say that how good you are defending your nation because of all your tactics. That's one thing. Another thing is to just say thank you. We're truly grateful. We couldn't win this war without the Americans helping us out, but he's never said that. So now I think the deal's in jeopardy, and it's interesting that Trump says, I wanted the American people to see who you really are. This is why I kept it going.
To be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this.
The reason why I stopped this as well is because I've been following Zelensky from day one for 3 years. I've been talking about this guy. I kind of lighten up a little bit on him, but my very first video was don't trust Zelensky. My very first video. And then all of a sudden he shows up in Canada and is taking millions of dollars and making deals with our prime minister, building an armory in our country, our beloved peaceful country. We're building war machines to get shipped to Ukraine, and who knows how they're going to be used. We don't even ask for receipts or anything. We just give him money. And now the United States is calling Zelensky. I'm surprised that they're not asking about the $350 million that went missing that the United States of America lent to Zelensky. He doesn't know where it is. Zelensky has no idea where 350 is. And this is the guy that keeps coming back to North America asking us for money to go to war. And I'm shocked that our administration, our country, is allowing this to happen. We don't have the tough conversations like this in Canada. Instead, we smile. Trudeau went to Kiev. He went to see Zelensky. And all I saw was hugs and kisses between the two men. That's all I saw. Let's continue.
Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you'd take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a
But I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was with
wasn't
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make
Uh,
because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks?
Man, he is just stewing. Basically, Zelensky has to change his attitude. He wasn't talking about Putin. He didn't bring up Putin at all. It's all been blasting Zelensky right now.
Please tell us. What do we do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
What if
She's asking, what if Russia
Putin
breaks the
breaks
ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now?
But they have
Okay?
broken
What if they
ceasefire.
broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
But what-
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went
Did you see that little eyebrow raise? They respect me. Putin respects me. So watch Zelensky raise his eyebrows like, well, we'll see about that because I don't respect you.
drops on your head right now.
but they have
Okay?
broken
What if they
ceasefire.
broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
But what-
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia.
Now Zelensky looks like a whipped puppy. And I think Trump realized, okay, I beat this guy up enough. Now it's time to beat up on the reporters a bit. And Zelensky's like, I'm not getting into this anymore. I'm going to take a break from this. I got to compose myself because I'm so angry right now.
Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is,
It stopped for some reason.
That is Donald's.
Right at the best part. That's okay. All right. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on there. Go check it out. Go watch it for yourself. I'm telling you. I've never seen this kind of a fight before. Trump is not happy. So here's my prediction. Mineral deal off the table. Zelensky, go home. Think about your life. Rethink about your life. I need you to do something. I need you to make a splash. I need you to show Americans that you actually are thankful. Right now, your demeanor, this thing that you brought to the Oval Office, you clearly have disrespected us. JD Vance said, you disrespected us. I'm saying you disrespected us. Go home, Zelensky. We don't want you here until you can change your attitude. And watch over the next, I don't know, either something crazy is going to happen with the U.S., some military action that's going to be like, oh, terrorist attack, but it's probably going to be because of Zelensky, or Zelensky's going to make an absolute perfect phone call to Trump over the weekend, and Trump is going to say something like, Zelensky called me back and he apologized. Man, I wish I recorded it, guys. It was a beautiful phone call. I wish I recorded it. I didn't record it, but I kind of wish I did now because it was a beautiful phone call. Zelensky was crying. He had tears, and I was like, Zelensky, stop crying. It's okay. It's okay. Just tell me you love me. Tell me you love me. Tell me that you want America. Tell me that only America can save you. Why? Because I want your soul, Zelensky. I want your soul. Tell it to me. And he did. He confessed everything to me over the phone. I was like his priest. That's the type of phone call I'm expecting from Zelensky after this, or these guys are never going to talk to each other again. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's what Trump's going to say. I like the guy. I like him a lot. But if he thinks that America is not helpful with all the billions of dollars that Zelensky, look, he's the greatest salesman in the world, Zelensky. I like him. But he disrespected the Oval Office, and the mineral deal is off the table. We don't need their minerals. We don't need any oil from Canada, which is not true. They actually need our oil. They need our heavy oil. I talked about in a previous video. Americans need our oil because you guys have 132 places where you actually have manufactured oil. Like you have these big drums that this is where our heavy oil goes so that you can process it. But you need it for your tanks. You need it for your airline industry. You need it for your trains. You need it for your weapons, all kinds of stuff. That's heavy oil. And Alberta has your ticket. We can deal too. We can wheel and deal. We can make you guys very rich, very rich. We have lots of stuff in Alberta. Don't kid yourself. But it's interesting. I think Zelensky is going to be dragging his knuckles after this. Like I want to actually see him leaving the building. I want them to get on a megaphone and say, Elvis has left the building. Zelensky has left the building. And it'd be a big cheer. I think he got embarrassed. I really do. I think he did. So, hope you guys were entertained today. Hope you guys got something out of this. It'll be an interesting weekend. Believe you me. It's going to be an interesting 3 days. I don't know what's going to go on. I'm predicting, like I said, some kind of a made-up phone call from Zelensky on Monday saying he apologized, or Zelensky's going to go to his people and say, can you imagine if Zelensky said, that was the best meeting that I've ever had with Trump? I can't believe it. That was the best meeting. I'm just waiting for all the memes to show up now. Just watch on TikTok. I bet you it's just going through the roof right now. All the shorts on YouTube, everything about Trump slapping Zelensky silly. It'd be interesting. So anyways, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.